Tonight, we pay tribute to a legend. Ken Block was a pioneer in the rally car scene, drifting and jumping his various rally cars in crazy locales. San Francisco, China, Pikes Peak, and Las Vegas, to name a few. He was a visionary, and we lost him this past January at the age of 55. However, the stars and cars of the NASA Rallycross Challenge will sport tribute liveries or a banner or a logo as we come into Lime Rock for this Memorial Grand Prix. Our points leader, Francois Martel, and Cody Crosgrove, Sportsman points leader, come in on 2 consecutive victories. Can they extend those advantages, or will we see someone else steal the show? We will find out together tonight. Our venue for this evening is virtual Lime Rock Park. Opened in 1957, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2018B. 1.5 miles in length with 11 corners in total, 8 to the right and 3 to the left. The lap begins with the double apex big bend. Pick your braking point and hug the inside for the best line through turn 3, the left-hander. Quickly after that is the right-hander, turn 4, and then down the no-name straight. The uphill chicane is next with a hard 90-degree right-hand corner, followed by a full throttle blast through the rest of that chicane. Expect many passing attempts to be made at the bottom of the hill. West Bend chicane next, where our drivers will have multiple different lines as they enter and exit this complex as they head down the downhill into turn 11 and down the Sam Posey straight to complete a lap here at Lime Rock. Our format for this evening for NASA Rallycross is a little bit different than normal. We have 26 cars here. They're going to be split into 4 heat races, 4 laps apiece. The top 2 will automatically transfer to the feature. The winner will get 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2 bonus points. The rest of our competitors will be funneled into the last chance qualifiers. They are 5-lap races, and the winners get a bonus point. The difference is, for this race specifically, is all 26 cars will run in the feature race. We got some exciting news for that in a minute. So higher you finish, the better your grid for the feature. It'll set the grid for the 15-lap feature race where points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to the Ken Block Memorial, like I mentioned, all 26 drivers will race in the feature. The 27th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight on the Automotive Sports Network, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and 4-time series champion Philip Kraus next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the Ken Block Memorial Gymkhana Grand Prix. Our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you, Rob Hartman, for all of your support. And our coverage all season is also brought to you by NordVPN. If you're worried about trackers stealing your personal information or being tracked online, NordVPN is here to keep you safe with military-grade encryption and advanced security features to keep your browsing activity and personal data completely private. With over 5,500 servers in 59 countries, you can enjoy fast and secure internet access from anywhere in the world with no logging policies, meaning you'll never be tracked or recorded. Protect your online privacy and enjoy unrestricted access to your favorite content. Be sure to utilize the 30-day money-back guarantee, but I feel like you won't once you use it. Take it from me personally. Visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA for up to 63% off a 2-year plan. Finally, our cameras for this entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com. And one last little tidbit, I forgot to mention, the intro music that we have in that intro video was produced by our very own Alex Sabetti. So thank you, Alex, for your support as well. Phil, the first time we raced a Gymkhana round was in 2018. That's also the last time we raced a Gymkhana round. I think you might have won here. So with all the drivers in the feature race, it's a lot like the way we used to, just not with only 6 cars.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit different. Just with 6 cars, that's almost that's a small feature by today's standards. 26 cars, it's going to be chaotic, but it's a proper full-sized racetrack this weekend, so I think the drivers should be able to take advantage of that, and it should still be a really fun race to watch, Josh.
As we take a look at both the driver standings and the Sportsman Cup coming into round 4 of this championship. Francois Martel, 78 points. Josh Klog has 64, so there's a 14-point lead there. Magnus Okenhaug sits in third with 53 points. Romain Rateau with 53 points. Sabian Ragster with 51. That's the top 5. We notice Cody Crosgrove has the blue plate for the Sportsman Cup. He has an 18-point lead over Chris Wetz, with Brock Quinn, Jess Rakowski, Cody Winecki rounding out the top 5 there. The Constructors Championship, TWR Subi Squad, 10 points up on Woven Planet, and Subaru has won all 3 races this season, so they have 33 points. Basically, well, an entire race distance of points over Ford and Volkswagen. So as we run through qualifying, we're trying to take a look and see who's on track right now. A couple guys that have been quick: Romain Rateau, Francois Martel, Cody Crosgrove. Cody Erdman was quick as well, but he was penalized from last week's incidents, as well as Cody Winecki. Winecki and Erdman both have qualifying bans, so it's a shame, Phil, because we know Cody's super fast on the road circuits, and this is the worst track to have that happen to you.
Yeah, we know Cody's quick on the road circuits, and he's more used to them than a lot of the competitors are, as we're on board with Cody Crosgrove, our sportsman leader, currently 4th in this qualifying session, Josh.
55.907 for Romain Rateau in car number 23. Just about a half a tenth ahead of Francois Martel. Jess Rakowski, 56.195 from the driver from Maryland. Cody Crosgrove, sportsman points leader, sits in 4th. Rakowski, wow, what a surprise!
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't expect that, Josh, but we're gonna say that a lot today because this is completely different from the rallycross tracks these drivers usually go to. This is the complete curveball for all of them, and it's going to shake up the order like we were mentioning a little bit.
And like we always have in NASA Rallycross, it's just something that we want to do, spice things up, change things just a little bit. Chris Wetz was fast as well. He sits in P5. We looks like Cody Crosgrove in car number 18. He is in the 4th position. I think Rakowski's done with her qualifying run, so I don't think she'll be making another lap as we cross halfway through this qualifying session. I'm taking a look at Josh Klog exiting the final corner on his 2nd lap, and what's tricky here is you do get hit with the 1Xs for off tracks, and they do not count your laps. 56.694 put the former champion to 6th quickest.
And not only do the 1Xs ruin your laps, Josh, they're also extremely easy to get at this track, especially in the chicanes. Just a small lapse in concentration, you'll see your lap invalidated by the iRacing stewards.
So tricky to get the braking points right for both of these chicanes. We ran a test race late last week, and this car is harder than I remember it being on these kind of tracks. So,
well, you have been in the retirement home for a few years, so
I'm not going to reply to you. As it says Josh Klog has the red plate. Our graphic might be a little bit outdated there. Apologies for that. We've had a lot of work done to get everything working for you guys. So still the top 3 have not changed. Crosgrove, Ragster, Wetz. So Klog gets placed back to 7th. Matt Kingsbury's back. Steve Angie, Bodie Cryer, the top 10. Wesley Wickens, a new driver, making his debut tonight in the 51. And I flicked through the field. He's on the chip in that Subaru. So gearing, very important. You had to max these gears out and still hitting the chip down into turn number 1.
Yeah, these cars just, they really struggle to hit those speeds because they're hitting upwards of like 150 mile an hour into turn 1, Josh. And I can't name a rallycross track off the top of my head that you're going to be hitting that type of speed. So they're definitely not made for this, but they put on a heck of a show at tracks like this.
Welcome to NASA Rallycross, where we break the rules and bend the rules and make our own rules. So here we are, as about 30 seconds left in qualifying, and this is going to be tentatively Rateau on pole for Heat 1, Martel, and Jess Rakowski is going to be on pole for Heat number 3, as Matt Morris paying tribute to Ken Block in the best possible way, ripping some drifts in that Ford Fiesta. Beautiful number plate that Justin Robichaux put together. Some of our guys are run it, some of our guys Won't, of course. It was totally optional, but some guys running a tribute livery. I know Romain Rateau, the Rateau father and son combo, they've got a special livery for tonight. So it's going to be all about fun here tonight in the NASA Rallycross Challenge as we get ready for heat number 1. Standing start on the front straightaway, so nothing different there. As we take a look, Romain Rateau, Sabian Ragster, Matt Kingsbury, Matt Morris, Brock Quinn, Olivier Rateau, and Cody Winnecke. So this part of the race, Phil, is going to be identical to everybody else, every other race. But then you realize there's no dirt.
Well, kind of. There's one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Josh. The grid. Like, they grid up together, yeah, but look how much more spaced out they are than they usually be on a rallycross track. That makes track position all the more important. As
no jokers this evening, we are going for 15 laps in the feature, so the cars can't make 15 laps, so we will see
7
an
minutes.
old
The track
school
temp is
NASA
88. The air temp is
tactic
74 Fahrenheit.
pit stop in the
Okay,
feature.
Bryan,
So it's
here
going
we
to
go.
be super awesome to watch, but we have to get through the
Floor
heat
it. Green,
races
green,
first.
green. 1 gallon
Green
remaining.
flag for heat 1. Off the line, Rateau got a great jump over Ragster. Kingsbury closing into the inside of Ragster to turn 1, move him to second. Quinn to the inside of Matt Morris. Contact between them, the 005 and the 24. Olivier Rateau and Winnecke in the back of the field, and Brock Quinn plumb last. Rounding the left-hander into the right-hander. Romain Rateau, one of the fastest cars here, trying to pull away, but Matt Kingsbury, hometown boy, trying to apply pressure to Romain Rateau into the chicane for the first time. And Ragster not letting him get away here, Phil.
Yeah, and Matt Kingsbury, one of the people who was here in 2018 when we ran this last SimCon round at Lime Rock Park. I think actually it was Summit Point was the last round we did on these tracks, but he was there for all of them, so he's definitely got more experience than some of these guys on tracks like this in this car, so we'll have to see how that pays off for him.
Such a tricky final corner in these cars, because you think you can go much wider than you can, and then you're off the road. At the end of the first lap, Romain Rateau leads. Hasn't had the best of luck in car number 23, hoping that this could reset his luck, but Matt Kingsbury also has not had good luck. The man from Connecticut, who won last season in Brands Hatch on a technicality after we had to disqualify Jacob Rafos. So a couple wins in the series. Has been a while since he last won. All over the rear wing of that Ford Fiesta. He used to drive that Ford Fiesta, so he knows how that car handles. So he knows what Romain is feeling right now.
Yeah, these are two drivers looking to kickstart their seasons, Josh. Obviously,
Ragster, huge run off the corner. Passes Kingsbury side by side. So respectful. These two drivers racing in the old sports car challenge for NASA would put Ragster to second. Looks like he got a slowdown.
5 minutes to go. Come on, keep it together. We'll be on the podium here.
Fastest lap for Rateau.
Ragster even further. We'll have to see if he can get back to him, but it's still only a 4-lap race today for these heat races. The LCQs are longer, and I'd say more important because they're going to control your grid position for the feature. And as you alluded to during the pre-race show, everyone's making the feature.
It's so easy to cut the track like Matt did. You put one wheel too far onto the grass in that second chicane, and it calls you for cutting. Matt Morris on Olivier Rateau. This is for the 4th spot. Morris clips the curb and over the second curb. There's no jumps here in Lime Rock, but Matt Morris trying to make his jumps.
There can be. You just have to invent them.
Winnecke and Quinn battling for the 6th spot. Quinn, different line into the corner on Winnecke. Like I mentioned in the opener, multiple lines into that second chicane. You could double apex, or you could run it really wide and clip the apex. Looks like Matt Morris is going to pit in the 24. So, Romain Rateau, 0.7 of a second faster that last lap over Ragster, Phil. The Ford has shown pace here at Lime Rock.
Yeah, it wasn't too shabby when we last went to these type of tracks either, Josh. Obviously, the cars have changed a lot since then. iRacing's constantly updating these rallycross cars to try and bring them closer together in terms of performance. So, I'm not sure if it's still the same sort of meta when it comes to that. Matt Kingsbury goes around in the chicane.
Loops it in the 21. He'll come out. He won't lose a spot.
Josh.
He should get fired back up.
Actually, between him and Olivier Rateau.
He'll hold it. Checkered flag. Romain Morateau wins heat number 1. Pole position for the Ken Block Gymkhana Memorial Grand Prix. Ragster, second spot, will transfer automatically. And he will get 2 bonus points. 3 bonus points for Rateau. Kingsbury third. Kingsbury, Rateau, Quinn, Winecki, Morris, the remaining running order. This is going to be a good one. Clog versus Martel, and we know Clog also a former champion of the Sports Car Challenge. He knows this track.
This is a big race for Josh Clog. It's one of those few tracks where I'd say he should have an advantage over Francois Martel, but the timings haven't quite shown that yet, but races are a completely different thing than qualifying and practice, Josh, so we'll have to see what Clog can do in this heat race, because he needs to make up every point possible, being 14 back right now.
Martel, Clog, Angie, Gay, Ament, Rob Brown, Carson, McKenna. Second heat race getting ready to go.
Got 1 gallon
in
left.
Lime Rock. Green flag. Speaking of the start, Angie got a better start than Clog. Down to turn number 1. Martel blocked Clog and also blocked Angie into turn 1. Angie looks to the inside on the 7. On the 199, can't get it done. Ament, Gay, McKenna, and Rob Brown in the 35. Peeking to the inside was Benjamin Gay on Ament. Can't get anything done. Through the left-hander, through the right-hander, down the no-name straight. And I thought Clog was going to get swallowed up by Steve Angie on the start there, Phil, but we go through the uphill chicane for the first time. Martel, stupid fast last week, stupid fast this week. They got to hang with him here in the 12.
I think you could just stick with stupid fast. You don't have to say it every week. Francois Martel is stupid fast, but Clog's going to put some pressure on him here. He's not letting him get out of his sights here.
Around the downhill for the first time. And Martel will lead at the end of the first lap. We ride on board Josh Clog looking out the front of that Subaru towards Francois Martel. Deep on the brakes in the 199. Like we mentioned, former NASA Sports Car Challenge champion. And the Sports Car Challenge always raced here at Lime Rock. Such a beautiful circuit in Connecticut. One of the staples of the iRacing platform. One of the free pieces of content from when you sign up. So everybody knows this track unless they've never touched a road car ever, as we look back at Steve Angie off the rear wing of Josh Clog.
And speaking of that, Josh, I think there are some people here who haven't done that many road races. I don't know who it was, but when I was loading into the session, I saw someone who had a rookie 2.5 license on road.
Ament to the inside of Rob Brown. That's for 5th. Ament takes the spot. Ament showed up 5 minutes ago after he got home from work, so very little practice for car number 6. Francois Martel leads, cross flags halfway in heat number 2.
Angie has a slowdown.
5 minutes to go. This is good. We'll be on the podium if we can keep it together.
And that is going to seal any chance of potentially getting a better grid spot, locking up the right front under braking in car number 7. 2.5 is the gap between Martel and Clog. And just to put it into perspective, we thought that Josh Clog had the speed over Martel, and it's nothing against Josh Clog, but Francois is 0.8 of a second up on Josh Clog that last lap.
Yeah, Francois Martel right now this season, he reminds me a lot of back on our first seasons in iRacing when we had the likes of Connor Parisi, Jeff Appelgren, all that gang coming over from the Kinda Fast group. And it was a real shock for us when we saw how fast they were, and it was a real challenge for everyone who was already in NASA to keep up with them. It's kind of like that with everyone else in Francois Martel right now.
Clog runs off the road trying to catch Martel as we take the white flag in heat number 2. Benjamin Gay, good run for him in the 53. He'll get a good grid spot for the LCQ here in just a couple moments. Steve Angie, Justin Ament, Robert Brown in the 66. Carson McKenna, winner from Barcelona last season, having a ding-dong here with Ament for the 5th spot.
Have I ever said how much I love that you're using ding-dong now, Josh?
I said it during the F1 race when I had friends over yesterday, and I'm like, wow, Phil's rubbing off on me, and it's kind of annoying. Ament really squirrely in the right-hander, under pressure from McKenna. Also, Benjamin Gay and Steve Angie battling. Final corner for Francois Martel. I know we're focused on this battle. Martel's going to come off the final corner. He wins heat number 2. Josh Clog trying to do a little bit of rallycross as he drives into the grass. He will finish second. Benjamin Gay holds off Steve Angie for third.
Ding dong for fifth. Will end with Justin Ament in fifth place.
As everybody finished, and it broke our graphic. So I'm not going to blame Bryan on that. Martell, Clog, Gay, Angie, Ament, McKenna, Robert Brown. Now, I am curious to see this heat race. Jess Rakowski on pole position. Chris Wetz in second. He was fast as well. Magnus Okenhaug, Justin Robichaux, Ivan Ho, Jim McKenzie. This will be a good one. Green flag. Wetz got a much better start in the first phase, but Rakowski better in the second. Here comes Robichaux to the inside of Wetz. Takes the spot. Will he sneak to the outside? Magnus side by side with Wetz through the first couple of corners. Jess Rakowski leads out of turn 2. Magnus clears Wetz. Wetz to the inside. Side by side again through the right-hander. They touch. Magnus slides it. Corrects it. He slides it again. Saves it. Wetz back to fourth. Ivan Ho in the 25. Rakowski leads. Robichaux second.
What a start for Justin Robichaux, Josh. I think he gridded fifth, and he's in second right now, and most of that was done before we even got to the first corner.
Rakowski through the corner on two wheels. Here comes Magnus. And Jess Rakowski's going to lead a lap on merit, it looks like, unless commentators curse off the corner. Magnus goes to the outside, to the inside. 3 wide at the line. Rakowski leads. Here comes Robichaux. Backs out of it. Magnus backs out of it. Contact as Robichaux gets turned. What is happening? Everyone decides to crash in the first corner in the third heat race, and Justin Robichaux out of the picture. You know, I think what the problem is, and it's no disrespect to Rakowski, she doesn't have the race pace, and these guys are so much quicker, but they can't find a way around.
I don't think it's that, Josh. I think it's just the nerves getting to her, because she hasn't led a race in NASCAR Rallycross before, and I think she's letting the pressure get to her.
Magnus locks it up. Because it shouldn't
drive too much differently from qualifying to the race, you'd think.
Magnus locked it up in the 26. Wetz in the 71, former race winner in this championship. We talk about it all the time.
Magnus a little wide.
He hasn't won in quite some time. Magnus bearing down on the 999er Rakowski. And the man from Texas will have a slowdown. Ivan Ho in the 25 as well. Looks like he changed cars. I don't think that'll affect him because I don't think he had too many points, but Rakowski leads with 2 laps to go. Josh Clog disconnects from the server.
Magnus locks the rears again.
Saves it in the 26. Fastest lap for Ivan Ho at a 58.509.
I'll tell you what, Josh, it looks like Magnus is ripping the handbrake. I know he isn't, but the way he's been sliding the rear of that car into turn 1 when he locks the rears, it makes it look like he's trying to rip it into turn 4 at hell or something.
Wetz third, Ivan Ho fourth, Jim McKenzie, Justin Robichaux. I think Rakowski's gotten into her groove now as Ivan Ho spins it in the 25 in the Subaru. And Magnus is going to have 1 lap to see if he can pass Rakowski in the 999. Sequential SimSport, I forgot to mention, Sequential SimSport's been around for quite some time. The original members of NASA might remember Area 52 Racing that rebranded with Cody Erdman. So technically, that's another team that has won a race, and Jess Rakowski running up front here.
Hey, I know that Area 52 Racing team, Josh.
You did win a championship, I do believe, for them. Your first championship. So, Sequential SimSports 6th all-time, 5th all-time on the team's wins list with 9. To put that into perspective, MRT has 73 wins, Revolution Racing 38 wins. I don't know who drove for MRT, but they're probably washed up now. Rakowski still leads as we have half a lap to go.
And it looks like, as you were saying, Josh, Rakowski did get into her groove. She's been running away from Magnus a little bit these last 2 laps and just has a few more corners to navigate to take, I think, her first heat win in NASCAR Rallycross competition.
It would be a heat race. Her first heat win off the final corner. It's going to be the first heat race win, I think, for a female, and Rakowski celebrates as she should, winning heat number 3 ahead of Magnus Okenhaug. as Wetz, Robichaux, McKenzie, and Ivanhoe rounding out that running order. As one last heat race before the LCQs here in Lime Rock. Cody Crosgrove, Bodie Cryer, Wesley Wickens, Jake Robichaux, Matt Grove, and Cody Erdman, who had that quali ban. Expect the former champion from Wisconsin to be really quick. We get ready for Heat 4. Green flag. Off the line, side by side. Cryer against Crosgrove, down to turn one. Cryer will clear him into the first corner. No, he doesn't. Crosgrove shoves him wide. Wesley Wickens in the 51, side by side with Cryer. Here's Jake Robichaux in the 69, side by side with Erdman. Erdman to the 4th spot. And if we know anything from our former teammate, your former team owner from back in the day, Erdman super quick here in practice. Looks like Cryer might have had a slowdown here. Erdman to the inside, deep on the brakes in the 52, and he makes it stick. Cryer better run off the corner.
Crossover potentially.
3 cars under a blanket.
4 cars under a blanket.
Thought better of it. Such a wonderful track here in Lime Rock for these rally cars. You wouldn't think so. But Cody Crosgrove pulling away ahead of Wesley Wickens in his first race, like we mentioned. And I don't think he's got a setup, so Wickens is going to hit the chip down the front straightaway. He is for sure going to hit the chip. So we're going to have to see if Erdman can catch up.
What a welcome to NASA Rallycross for Wesley Wickens. Usually you wouldn't expect your first race in a Rallycross league to be on a road course, track. But he's going to get the NASA welcome, for lack of a better word here, real fast.
That's how it always has been. You just get thrown to the deep end and you figure it out. Cody Crosgrove leads, Sportsman Points leader. And remember, what's crucial in that championship is, for example, Rakowski won her heat race. Those 3 bonus points will apply to the Sportsman Championship as well. So that'll help her in that championship standing. As we ride on board, Cryer looking at Erdman in the 52.
Erdman looks like he's starting to drive away a little bit from Bodie Cryer, but I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to get up to Wesley Wickens in the 51. Not affiliated, but the numbers are quite close.
56.5 fastest lap for Crosgrove, 57.1, 56.6 for Erdman. He's going to have 2 laps. He's a second away. He was half a second up that last lap, so quick math, he'll be right on that rear wing at the checkered flag if all goes to plan here.
And his best chance is going to be, I think, into turn 1, Josh, with Wickens banging it off the chip. That's going to be Erdman's opportunity to try and throw it up the inside, because he should have like 5 or 6 extra mile-an-hour top speed on Wesley Wickens in the 51.
As Matt Grove, Jake Robichaux, Bodie Cryer, running order has not changed, and Erdman is bearing down another half a second taken out of that gap. But he's going to have to...
that's not even with the strongest part of track yet.
He's going to have to make something happen. Crosgrove takes the white flag in heat number 4. Wickens is going to top out at 147. Here comes Erdman, 154. A little bit more acceleration. Wickens locks up off the road. Erdman goes through.
He felt the pressure from the champion, Josh. And that puts Erdman into a transfer spot and 2 bonus points.
Cody Erdman, like we mentioned, with that incident last week with Russell Peterson, it gave him a qualifying ban. I loved it, but I have to enforce some rules. Cody Erdman benefiting from the qualifying ban by being in a transfer spot. And if there's anything about Cody, you make him mad. He's not as fast as you, but he certainly gets faster than he normally is.
Oh, I'm not that fast anymore either, so...
It's going to be the Cody and Cody show. Crosgrove and Erdman off the final corner. They will be 7th and 8th seeds, 4th row of the grid here in Lime Rock. Wesley Wickens, best of the rest. Crosgrove, Erdman and Wickens, Cryer, Robichaux, Grove, the remaining running order. So it looks like they put everybody. Josh. I think the sim put everybody into one LCQ.
Yes, they did. This is gonna be spicy because this is gonna set the grid for the feature, Josh.
Hey, you were worried about not making the feature race due to your other commitments, so this just accelerates you being able to make it.
The sim heard me, and it's like, oh, let's cut out a
Good luck, everyone.
bit of minutes for you.
16 cars. I want to get my hard hat now as we get ready for a 5-lap brawl. Green flag. Ahmet got a better start than Quinn. Down to turn number 1. Side by side, it's Wieniecki versus Robichaux. On the outside, McKenna. He got by Robichaux. Side by side throughout the field. The top 2, top 4 single file. Then it's Ivanhoe and Jim McKenzie. McKenna and Morris. Grove, contact with Wieniecki, or McKenna, sorry, and Ivanhoe. Trying to keep track of all these cars through turns 3 and 4. Down the no-name straight. Jake Robichaux peeks to the inside of Wieniecki. Blocking it up is Quinn in the 005. He's going to get a slowdown for that, but Justin Ament to the race lead.
And Justin Ament to a comfortable race lead at that.
Wieniecki defending on Jake Robichaux in the 69. And this is for a bonus point. Remember, if you finish second, so that bonus point will help you in the championship. Wieniecki battling Jake Robichaux. Ament leads in the 6.
And there's a battle for 4th between Matthew Morris and Jim McKenzie.
Jake Robichaux under braking, squirrely in the 69. Cuts the track. McKenzie gets passed by Matt Morris in the 24. McKenna side by side with Quinn in the 005. Robert Brown battling with Grove.
We got a nice little ding-dong going on for these final few positions here, Josh.
Side by side through the field. Ament and Wieniecki loved this, as we've calmed down for the most part.
They're calmed down for the most part in the bonus point playing positions, but with every position mattering, especially for your gridding in the feature race, we've still got 5 cars under a blanket here at the back of the field, Josh.
So it looks as though, actually looking through the results, I was wondering why we don't have that many cars. The sim automatically transferred a couple of other cars to the feature race, which it's all okay. It looks like they might have done 4 cars. I don't know what's happening, and I run this league, so we're still figuring out who grids. But yeah, we'll figure it out as we go here with NASA. Welcome to NASA Rallycross.
Wouldn't be NASA without a bit of a curveball, would it, Josh?
Ament, Wieniecki, Robichaux, Morris, McKenna, McKenzie, Grove, Quinn, Robert Brown, Ivanhoe.
Robichaux crashed into Cody Wieniecki. That's going to spice up
with McKenzie and Grove in the back of the field as well.
Bit of calamity in that chicane this that lap there, Josh. That's 3 cars out of the race.
So 2 laps to go for Justin Ament. Jake Robichaux sits in second. Luckily, there hasn't been too much chaos for me to have to review tomorrow, but still kind of puzzling as to why there's not going to be 2 LCQs, but makes it easier for all of us.
We'll figure that out afterwards, Josh. As you alluded to, Jake Robichaux in second right now after using a bit of the chrome horn on Cody Wieniecki. So Matthew Morris looks like he's quicker than the 69 car. We'll have to see if he can get by him these final 2 laps, because catching and passing are 2 completely different things.
You dropped the left rear into the dirt, did Jake Robichaux. Didn't get him the best run off of the corner. Deep on the brakes in the Ford Fiesta as Morris in the 24.
Yeah, that might have ruined his chances, Josh. He lost about a second when he ran wide there through the chicane.
Still a lap and a quarter left to go for Matt Morris to make up that spot.
Yeah, but he's going to have to look forwards and backwards now, Josh, as Carson McKenna is going to be applying pressure to him.
Off the final corner, white flag for Justin Ament in car number 6. And it's gone from bad to worse for Brock Quinn. He is in the 4th spot. Morris is going to lose the 3rd spot to McKenna.
As everything calms down for a little bit.
As still no Josh Clogg in the server. Not really sure what's happening there. He has not reconnected, so hopefully everything's all good with the former series champion. We don't want him to lose this opportunity to gain some crucial points in the championship. But a couple minutes in a warm-up session. Maybe we'll see him reconnect.
Kind of goes around on the chicane, just about hangs on to it, Josh.
As I say that, Josh Clog reconnects, so no drama there for the former champion.
I have some drama for third place, though, Josh.
Morris peeks to the outside, locks it up. Morris to the inside. He takes the spot. Justin Ament off the final corner will win the LCQ in Lime Rock. Robichaux second, so they both get bonus points. Morris third. Ament, Robichaux, Morris, top three. McKenna, Quinn, Ivanhoe, Rob Brown, Matt Grove, Winnecki, and Jim McKenzie. We're going to step away for just a few moments here on the Automotive Sports Network. Stick around. We'll be back soon.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Side nearly 3 wide, Ament and Palacio. Front bumper of Betty down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. Real still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. We welcome you back to the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge for the Ken Block Memorial Gymkhana Grand Prix. This is round 230 in the championship overall, round 4 of the 27th season in NASA Rallycross. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Philip Kraus alongside me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz. As we get ready for this feature race, this special format here this evening, paying tribute to the legendary Ken Block, one of the biggest inspirations of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Every single one of our drivers, all 26 of them, will race in a 15-lap feature, and you have to pit for fuel. So, Phil, do you need a hard hat? Because I forgot mine again.
Well, yes. I've doubled up on the hard hat for this time, Josh. I'm not gonna lie.
That's not safe.
26 cars. Listen, I need all the protection I can get.
That's like doubling up something else. It doesn't work.
But you know what's going to be really interesting, Josh? Just since you alluded to it, the pit stops. Who's done a pit we haven't done a pit stop in these cars before.
The only people that have done a pit stop in NASA would be on track. It would be Wetz and Cody from Croft, way back in the day.
And I don't remember, Josh, do they have to take tires on this pit stop, or is it just
fuel only? Fuel only.
So what we might see some people forget to untick their tires. So we could see some massive variances in pit time.
All I know is it's going to be fascinating, as our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of our championship. Our coverage all season also brought to you by NordVPN. Visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA for up to 63% off a 2-year plan, along with a couple months for free running a new campaign there. Thank you to NordVPN. And TrackCams22 for providing our cameras for this entire season. Quick picks for this race. Rakowski looks good, but I don't know if Rateau or Martel can be beat.
It all depends on the pit stop, Josh. I have no idea who's winning this.
At least you're honest. At least you are honest. For those of you that are new, you'll see a red number. That's the points leader on the ticker. Blue number is the sportsman points leader. It's the subclass. For those that, with all due respect, don't spend all of their time on the sim. They have other things to do. So, like me, I would be a sportsman. Just kidding. I think I actually wouldn't be. As we get ready for the Ken Block Memorial Gymkhana Grand Prix, where are we gridding for the 26 cars?
On the grid. I want to see if anyone's gridding in the final corner real quick, Josh.
It doesn't look like it, as I think Rob Brown is the last car on the grid.
Good luck, everyone.
Mackenzie is
right at the pit entry.
Pit now! Take your pit stop! Thank you all for joining us on the Automotive Sports Network for round 4 of the championship. 15 laps ahead of us, 26 cars, plenty of action, hard hats, gloves, glasses, whatever you need. You might want to go get your PPE because it's going to be
I've got a full set of body armor, Josh.
It's going to be a crazy race. Get your coveralls, whatever else you'd need.
15 laps. Mandatory pit stop. Here we go.
Rateau, Martel, Rakowski, Crosgrove, Ragster, the top 5 on the grid as we get ready to go green in Lime Rock. We go green in Connecticut, off the line. Martel got a great jump. Ragster gets blocked by Crosgrove. Rakowski in the middle. Into turn 1, Martel battling Rateau. Rateau takes the lead. They nearly make contact. Side by side, Ragster versus Clog. Here comes Magnus Okenhaug. Side by side, Matt Kingsbury and Erdman. They have history from Brands Hatch a couple weeks ago. Through the left-hander, through the right-hander. Crosgrove really close to Rakowski. To the inside, Okenhaug goes on Josh. Clog takes the spot. Down the no-name straightaway to the uphill for the first time. Very clean in the back of the field. Into the corner for the first time. Kingsbury locks it up in the 21. Saves it. Wets in the 71 having issues. To the outside of Rakowski goes Crosgrove in the West Bend chicane. Locking it up is Martel. Crosgrove gives Rakowski a nudge. Exiting the chicane. Nearly contact between Ragster and Crosgrove. Side by side, contact for the sportsman points leader. Slides and he saves it. Here comes Magnus. Slipstreaming Ragster down the front straightaway. Clogged to the inside of Crosgrove at the end of the first lap. Rateau leads in the 23, out and away from the rest of the field. Erdman to the inside of Crosgrove. Contact between Clog and Crosgrove. Erdman getting pinned to the curb in the 52. Crosgrove holds it. Can Erdman hold the outside in the 52? The man from Wisconsin. Crosgrove clears him. Inside, Clog on
Okenhaug off the track.
Magnus goes wide, comes back on, no issue there. Through the back of the field. No issue. Looks like Kingsbury got another slowdown. Nearly contact with Magnus. Off the road is Ragster in the 91.
Slowdown. West Bend chicane again. Cody Erdman up to 7th in the 52.
Erdman
Contact with
tagged.
Ragster.
That might have helped him through the corner.
Yeah, you know, it might have done. It looked like he was understeering a little bit. Ragster just wanted to help out a buddy.
Crosgrove off the road.
Crosgrove off the track in the final corner, but he's going to have a run on Clog into turn 1.
Chris Wetz, huge slipstream on Savian Ragster. Nearly put it into the wall. Magnus to the inside of Wetz in the 71. They both go off the track in the Volkswagens.
Okenhaug off the track as well. The season opened for Justin Robichaux. That's 3 spots in 1 corner.
Justin Robichaux in the 93 getting hounded by Magnus Okenhaug. Josh Clog is slower than Crosgrove and
Crosgrove hounding. Yeah, Crosgrove hounding Clog. our defending champion, really struggling right here, Josh, and that's not something I expected to say.
Jess Rakowski.
Top 5 finish today.
Rakowski sitting in third on merit in the 999. Contact one car around. Magnus in the 26. Thank you for not backing up in front of a full field. To the inside, Wets on Wesley Wickens. This is for the 8th spot, it looks like. Wesley Wickens in his first start. Benjamin Gay in the 53.
Crossroads going to have a run on Clog.
26 cars in one race was chaos, but I love it.
You know what's about to come up soon here, Josh? The pit stops. The windows open at the end of this lap. Clog drifting through turn 1. He's off the track.
Erdman passes him, put the former champion off the road, back to, looks like the 6th spot.
Romain Rateau slowly but surely running away from Francois Martel. They matched each other that last lap. Gap 1.4 seconds between the top two. Jess Rakowski another 2 seconds back from that group. And then another 2 seconds back to Crosgrove in 4th.
I'll put it to you this way. What a drive for Cody Erdman. And I'm not saying that because he's a friend and my former teammate. If you count that he was last in Heat 4, that's technically gridding last, and he's in 6th.
Josh, can I correct you on that real quick? What a drive for sequential sim sports right now.
I guess you're right.
3rd and 5th.
The former race winners and former champions of the series, all the way back in 2017, courtesy of some guy that's next to me in the commentary box, they have had terrible luck, and they are back in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Great run for them. Erdman to the inside of Crosgrove in the 18. Erdman on the curb. Nearly contact. It's calm throughout the field.
Crosgrove the ball just about.
Magnus Okenhaug slammed into Ivanhoe, who was on the chip into turn number 1. We are calm through the field. Martel locks up in 2nd spot. Those two in their own zip code. And this is what Martel needs. He's out and away from his championship rivals.
Man, this isn't something we particularly expected. I think we thought Josh Clog was going to do a lot better than he has been doing so far today, Josh.
Matt Kingsbury disconnects, so we will put him in a 26th and last. Hometown favorite will come home last in this race. Still no strategy. First bit of strategy being played, it's Benjamin Gay, but he's in 25th. So I think he's might be calling it a day here.
I don't know, Josh. I'll update you on that when I can, but a battle for 4th place between the Codys. The Cody and Cody show is still going on, but Erdman has to find a way by. He can get there, he just can't find the move.
Erdman trying. Rakowski might be fading here. She's beginning to lose ground to the top 2. Will we see team orders between these two? Maybe a little holding up of Crosgrove to get Erdman by. Team games always encouraged in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Clog sits in 6th, 7th Robichaux, 8th Ragster, 9th Wets, 10th Cryer. Little disappointed with Wets, although we haven't seen the strategy, of course. So we'll just have to wait and see.
So weird for Josh Clog. Erdman's going to look up the inside potentially into the final corner. No, thought about it.
Rakowski is
dropped behind both of them with
slow
the
down. So put her from 3rd to 5th, and now Erdman smells a podium.
The Cody and Cody show. Cody blocks
Crosgrove,
Cody. The turn when he locks the rears and he's under the wall.
The track goes the other way. That was rude. That's
going to be massive. That's going to be massive, Josh, for the Sportsman Championship. There's massive damage to that car.
And especially
left side is ripped off.
Especially at a track like this. But take a look at sequential 3rd and 4th right now. Woven Planet 5th and 6th. And TWR sits in 2nd with Francois Martel. They're leading the Constructors' Championship, but there's no Alex Abetti. So Woven Planet catbird seat here.
We do need to put a bit of a message out there for Romain Rateau as well, though, leading the race right now, pulling away from Francois Martel, the dominant force in NASA Rallycross this season.
Mika Esport.
Has Mika Esport won a race?
Mika Esport has not won a race. We have one car in the pit lane, Matt Morris in the 24.
Morris.
Mika Esport sits 5th in the Constructors' Championship with the father and son duo. They have 52 points. This will really help them in the championship.
It's going to be really interesting to see how these pit stops play out, Josh. I'm kind of surprised nobody's taken them yet. Well, I say nobody. There's been like 3 people who've taken them, but I think they're all caught up in earlier dramas. We haven't seen anyone in the top 10 take a pit stop yet.
Woven Planet sits 5th, 6th, and 8th with Clog, Robichaux, and Cryer. Sequential 3rd and 4th. Subi Squad 2nd. Mika Esport is 1st. McKenna, Crosgrove pits, but he does not get that damage fix, so there is no fast repair.
He's almost lost a lap in that pit stop, Josh.
Will we see...
We have our leader down the main straight.
They have not... Quinn and Brown have pitted. We take a look at the leader, Romain Rateau. Let's take a look, go through the field. Rateau, Martel, Erdman, Rakowski.
Interrupt you, Josh. The battle between Ragster and Robichaux.
With Quinn coming out in front of his teammate. And these guys are satellite teammates. Remember, Renovo Volkswagen versus Woven Planet Volkswagen, I should say.
Quinn's gonna get out of the way. He's a lap down to this group.
Quinn stays out of the way.
Good job by Brock Quinn to get out of the way, but he wiggles and is on the grass. He's gonna be able to rejoin safely, I think so.
Mowing the lawn in the 005. Wesley Wickens, P8 in his first start. Great run for the Briton.
Yeah, quick mention to Wesley Wickens. Didn't even notice that, Josh.
Josh Clogg sits P5. Will we see pit stops for the top cars? No pit stop yet. I lied. Rateau pits. He pulls the pin to the grenade, so the first bit of strategy for the race leaders.
Yeah, and they can get penalties on this pit entry, Josh. It's not an easy pit entry. If you go over that yellow line, I'm pretty sure the sim will assign you a penalty, and you're going to have to stop and hold in the pits. Well,
Fryer comes out in front of Erdman.
This could be helpful for Josh Clogg, Josh.
Woven Planet, team games, potentially.
I don't think that was planned, but it definitely could end up being like that. Clogg has been closing in on Des Rakowski.
Traffic is going to be very prevalent, but Francois Martel trying to go for 3 victories in a row. It's been a while since that happened. And now Erdman's going to...
Where'd Rateau merge out?
Rateau out of the pit lane behind Quinn and in front of Robert Brown. Where is Francois Martel? Martel, final corner. I'm taking a look off monitor. He does not pit, so he might be stretching the fuel. Magnus sits in 18th. Ivan Ho pits. Does Erdman pit? He does not. He got by Cryer. Rakowski in the 999. Clogg pits in the 199. So does Ragster. As we take a look at, I believe, that is Erdman in the 52. Ahead of the gaggle of Cryer, Robichaux, and Rakowski. Justin Robichaux on the back half of the field as I flick through the field. He is trying to get through lap traffic. Wetz gets by Wienecke. Where is Romain?
He's got clean track right now, Josh.
I'm trying to find Romain Rateau in the 4th spot.
23 seconds off Francois Martel right now. We'll have to see what happens. If Romain pit early, I wonder if he started light on fuel, Josh.
Francois pits.
He might have split it evenly.
In the 12. This will put Erdman. This will put Erdman in the race lead. In the 52, no, it does not. This will put...
Erdman pits as well.
Sequential cars will double stack. So we're going to see them pit.
I think it'll be Rateau retaking the lead here, Josh.
Where is Rateau in the 23?
Martel stops in the box. Missed the box. Martel missed the box.
Off the final corner. Rateau will take the lead in the 20.
Lead for Rateau.
And this is crucial for the sequential cars as they both pit. Exiting the pit lane is Erdman.
I don't
They're battling Clogg on pit exit. Erdman will get or hold the advantage.
Clogg's going to get Rakowski. Clogg's going to get Rakowski.
Ragster nearly gets Rakowski.
Yeah, that wasn't a good cycle for the sequential cars, as Ragster's going to have his tires up to temperature, because stopped in the box, you're going to lose a bit of temp, a bit of pressure, and you might be a bit slow on this outlap, Josh.
As the field begins to unravel. I'll tell you what, Phil, we might have to run this more often. This is an absolute brawl here in NASA Rallycross.
Absolute ding-dong, Josh.
Absolute ding-dong as cars throughout the field pitting. Magnus is off the road again in the 26.
Ragster looks to the inside of Rakowski. Power move.
Ooh,
Clears her just barely.
Wow.
I didn't think that was going to stick when I saw that car starting to slide, Josh.
That's what I thought, but he made it stick.
Have a run on Ragster, though, down the main straight, maybe.
Either way, still a great run for Rakowski if the race were to end right now, but still 3 laps to go for the Maryland driver. Robert Brown in the
runs
60s.
Wide at turn 1, right as you say that, Josh. This might put Chris
curse.
Wetz into winning position for the sportsman class.
I'm glad that you've been paying attention because
rejoins.
I have not been paying attention. Winecki and Grove, they're battling down the order.
Because I don't know where the 18 of Cody Crossgrove is. 13th.
Let's try and get an update to our race leader, Romain Rateau. He's going to take 2 laps to go. And he has been out front, aside from the pit stop rotation.
What a dominant drive for Romain Rateau. As Martel's going to experience some traffic here in these closing laps, and one of them is the Mika Esports teammate to Romain Rateau as of Olivier.
Ivanhoe disconnects from the server. Will we see team games? No, Olivier stays out of the way. Erdman sits in 3rd. It's been his first podium in quite some time in NASA Rallycross. If it remains this way, great to see the former champion potentially back on the rostrum. And we will see potentially a new winner in this championship. We got 1 lap to settle it.
Hang on for 1 lap and hopefully have enough fuel to make it. Martel's gone off, Josh. Martel's gone off. I didn't see that. I just saw the gap growing. Erdman's going to take 2nd.
Cody to 2nd.
Depending on the damage on that 12 car, this could bring Clog up to 3rd.
Did Erdman get a slowdown? He did in the 52. Side by side through the final corner. White flag.
He had it for a moment.
For Rateau.
I think he served it. They're going to battle on this final lap, Josh.
If I know anything from Cody, he will send it.
Yep, we know Cody.
To get that 2nd spot. Final couple of corners for Romain Rateau, unchallenged, is the Frenchman, winding his way through traffic. Erdman's going to have really 1 shot to make this happen, and it's going to be in this chicane.
He's close enough, Josh. He might
through
send
the
it on the brakes. We might see calamity.
Uphill chicane, not here. Martel squirrely through the chicane. Olivier Rateau is going to be in the way as we battle for 2nd. 3 wide. Olivier in the way. Romain Rateau wins in Lime Rock the Ken Block Gymkhana Memorial Grand Prix, the 40th winner of the championship.
For 2nd, I think.
Final corner between the points leader. Erdman off the road. Martel 2nd. Erdman 3rd. Romain Rateau becomes the 40th winner in the championship's history. The first Frenchman to do it. And it's kind of appropriate that a Ford Fiesta wins this evening. As Martel and Erdman begin to drift. Wow. 14 seconds was the gap. Rateau, Martel, Erdman, your podium. As Clog, Rakowski, the rest of the top 5. As our graphics a little broken there, understandably so. Chris Wetz, Robichaux, Angie, McKenna, Ament. Wesley Wickens just out of the top 10. Cody Crossgrove, Ragster, Okenhaug, Jake Robichaux, Brock Quinn, Winecki, Olivier Rateau, Jim McKenzie, Robert Brown, Bodie Cryer, Matthew Grove, Matthew Morris, Ivanhoe, Benjamin Gay, Matt Kingsbury. Wow. So, winning sportsman is Jess Rakowski. Winning overall is Romain Rateau. I'll bring in Romain. We'll have a nice chat with him. Philly's all yours. Romain Rateau. Philip Kraus, all yours.
Romain, first win in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Congratulations. What a drive from lights to flag.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it must have been pretty hectic out there with 26 cars. That's probably the first time you've experienced lap traffic to that level in the NASA Rallycross Challenge.
In NASA, yes. But
how
I
was
make
it?
some league.
Because there was a lot of curveballs thrown at you today. Pit stops, lap traffic. A regular circuit, not Rallycross.
Yeah, I do during 2 years. I do 1 season in NASA 2 years ago, and after I stopped as a Rallycross for just make a regular race. So I have some experience on that type of race, but it's very tricky when we lap the other guys. The reaction and also the drive of all the driver was very clean, and that was pretty cool. I'm very I'm very happy. I would like to dedicate this victory for my grandmother, and yeah.
That is very sweet of you. And speaking of sweet things, that was a sweet drive. To be honest, I don't know what else to say about it. We didn't get to watch you that much because there was just so much action up and down the field. You kind of had a Sebastian Vettel in 2013 syndrome, where you were just so far ahead of everyone. We didn't really get a chance to see you that much. Outstanding drive from start to finish. Talk us through that pit stop though, because that was a curveball for a lot of people, and it looked like there were a few cars that lost a handful of time in the pit cycle. Martel being one of them, he missed his box. How difficult was that pit stop for you?
Not really difficult. I train this stuff because I know we don't have a pit limiter, and I know who is my pit stop after the before the race, so it's not very difficult for me these things. I have a little scared from the start with Francois. He make a very good time in practice, in qualifying, and I know the Subaru was very, very, very powerful in the start. So I just concentrate on the start. It's the only thing that I a little scared for today, but I know I have I have the base. I know I train the pit stop. I know the car. I make a good setup, and Alex give me another who prepared, but I choose mine because I love prepare setup for this type of track. So yeah, I was a little scared because last Thursday all other guys was very very not really speed, but he made a very good training since Thursday, and it's just Francois who little scared me at the start, but after it's a good race.
Yeah, speaking about that real quick, it just shows the effort that had to go in for these drivers to get them ready for this, because it's such a different experience to the Rallycross tracks.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different mentality you have to take, because you're taking off-road tires to a circuit. There's not going to be the grip that you're really looking for, but yeah, absolutely amazing drive, Romain. Is there any partners you'd like to thank, any sponsors?
Yeah, I would like to thank my team Mekai Sport. I would like to thank our partner Nuage Communication, No Life Clothing, and No Auto. My family. I would like to dedicate this victory again to my grandmother who left us last Thursday. So it was very important to me to win this day for her.
And you did it for her. You made her proud, Romain. Well done.
Thank you, guys. Amazing job. The live was very cool. Your commentary, Josh, is very impressive, very attractive. Congratulations for the league and all your staff.
Thank you, sir. Très bien, monsieur.
Thank you.
As I took like a year and a half of French, and I couldn't remember how to say thank you in French. Either way, we're going to have a chat. I'm going to have a chat with Jess Rakowski, who won the sportsman race. And for a while there, I thought that you were going to be on the overall podium. How are you? Talk me through your race.
It honestly, the whole event was more than I could have really hoped for. But the last race, yeah, it was pretty good. Then near the end, I guess I just made a couple mistakes just because it was such a long race compared to what we've been doing throughout the rest of the season. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of my performance tonight. Yeah.
I noticed that I kind of mentioned it on the stream. You started to lose ground to Romain and Francois, so I kind of thought that maybe you weren't used to the longer style races. I
also had killed my tires by then, so I was understeering quite a bit.
Tires? Yeah. Just Fred Flintstone it, man. You don't need any
my tires.
My tires are dead. But how were you under pressure? I mean, being up front, being around the guys that are consistently up front in the championship, I mean, how was that?
There was definitely a little bit of pressure, but I feel like I've had a couple of flashes of good performances, especially on like the truck tracks last season. Well, the first truck track. The second one, let's not talk about that. Um, but yeah, I felt a little nervous. But honestly, you just really gotta keep on taking the lines, act like it's any other race. And when you go down the straight, just like try to relax yourself since you have some time to just, you know, well, relax.
As
Yeah, that's how I dealt with that anxiety that I had.
Phil, you got anything for our sportsman winner?
Not too much. Outstanding drive. It's nice to see the pace you've shown in flashes come to fruition today as a sportsman winner. P5 overall. You got to be really happy with that no matter how you bake it. I know you said you made a few mistakes as the race closed down, but still really solid showing for you today.
Thank you.
Any sponsors or partners you'd like to thank for your result today?
I would like to thank Cody Erdman and Sequential SimSport. They've been really great. Kind of welcoming me into their team, and it's really great to have Sequential Racing RX again. And I also want to thank a few of my friends, Aishi, Diane, Zainab, and Pasha. You guys really gave me the confidence to keep on trying with this, even though I had some shortcomings. Yeah, it's just been really great having all that support behind me.
Great run this evening, and we will see you in, I don't even know what track we're going to. Phil, do you know? We're going to Charlotte. I know what I'm talking about. Great run, Jess.
I'm glad you remembered because I was looking like a deer in the headlights, Josh.
We're going to bring in Francois Martel. You'll have one last chat, and then we'll bring in a special commentator's choice interview. We wonder who that is. Phil, Francois, all yours.
Howdy do, Francois. Not really the finish you were looking forwards to. A bit of pressure under the end that you probably weren't expecting from Cody Urban. I didn't see what happened to cause that mistake. I guess what happened to you?
Fatigue, honestly. It's funny because 15 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but by the end, I was just kind of fatigued. Just my attention was gone, and then I just realized that I was fighting teammates. So, like the tire degradation was so bad. It's not really what I'm used to. So, good congratulations to Romain, because this is not easy. Just to focus the entire time, and yeah, maybe I should do that more often.
Yeah, Josh and I were talking about it in the pre-race show and a bit during the race itself. It's a completely different skill set you need to drive at a track like this compared to the Rallycross tracks. And as you mentioned, the fatigue kicks in because Rallycross races, yeah, they're 10 laps, but the laps are usually like 40 seconds or so. So that's probably about half the distance of these races. And I know after some of the features I was in and that, I was feeling the fatigue, to be honest, because it's you have to be so precise in these cars, and just one little slip up can cost you, and it almost cost you second place, but you were able to hold on that final lap from Cody. Well done on that. I'm sure Cody wishes he could have got you, but second place for you. You grow your points lead a little bit more. Josh Klog isn't even in second place right now as I'm looking at a preliminary point standings. It looks like Romain's in second place, actually, 20 points behind you. You almost have a full round in your pocket after... Is it 4 or 5 rounds, Josh? I'm drawing a blank.
Round
I think it's
4.
4.
This is the 4th round.
Yeah, okay. After 4... An entire race lead after 4 rounds in the championship. That must feel amazing for you.
That's a relief. I wished I had that race in my pocket, obviously. Especially that it's the Ken Block special. You want to send it, go be first. But yeah, it's 20 points is kind of... It's a good lead. It's not a lot. Romain, obviously, if he's second, I know it's obvious that he's super fast. He qualified second place in Knockhill, but by some small margin. and he qualified first right here. So he's super quick. What is going to be amazing is that all the other rounds are gonna be close. Charlotte, which I think it's the next one. It's really circuity, if that makes sense. Sure, you go sideways, but it feels more like a racing circuits with sweeping turns and not much of the hairpins and really tight turns we're using Rallycross. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I've only driven Charlotte once personally, but I definitely got that feeling on the dirt sections. It doesn't really feel like you're ripping a donk slide at all. You kind of have to keep four wheels in a line and really focus on hitting your lines like you would on a circuit for sure. As I mentioned already, second place for you today. You got your championship lead. Any partners you have to thank? Any setup maker you have to shout out? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Team Watson Racing Setups, as always. And also special thank you to you guys again. Those rounds are really fun. It's cool to race those cars on places that you don't normally. So thanks for that.
Yeah, you are welcome, and I'm glad you had fun today. We've still got a few more curveballs to throw this season with the Endurance Cup rounds. I'm pretty sure we're doing those, Josh. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 this season.
I think we're going to Crandon, so we'll have a jumpy truck track at least. So Francois is on levels of consistency like some guy named Philip Kraus, podiuming in every single race. So great run, Francois. We'll see you next week in Charlotte.
Thank you, guys.
Our final interview, commentator's choice, is a guy named Cody Erdman. You have not been on a NASA podium, I think, since your last victory, which was 2019 B, Daytona Beach. How are you? How was your race? How is it coming from 26th on the grid? You're not washed up anymore.
No, we've been grinding away at it. Big thanks, Team Watson Racing Setups. That's been the life for me. Kind of getting used to their setups and everything. And then I took this setup, and as me and you were hanging out this past weekend, I was grinding away at the setup trying to get it dialed in, and I think I got it pretty good. As I got heat race win with Jess and then myself, and then driving from essentially last on the grid to second in the heat race, and then 8th on the feature grid up to P3. Could have been P2 if I didn't screw up the final chicane with coming to the white. But yeah, it was a good day, a very good day for Sequential SimSport.
Not many people know that Sequential SimSport is the team that Phil got his first championship with when you guys were Area 52. So how motivating is it that you guys have been lower in the championship for, a decent amount of time, and then you come out of the blocks with the great run from you and Jess? How does it feel as a team? You feel rejuvenated?
Honestly, yeah. I've been running a lot of Rallycross, so I'm just getting used to this car. Now I think it's starting to click for me. So now I can be kind of beneficial to the TWRS squad in general and kind of help get the speed. But yeah, it feels good. We had that little bit of a stint with Kieran and Parker when we were in the Ford squad about 2 years ago, and we got that one podium with Kieran there at the end of pretty much end of what we thought was going to be our Rallycross run, but we came back here with the Subarus and flying. That was a good day for us. I'm happy. I think if we would have started up closer, I think I would have had something for Romain, because it seemed like Romain and Francois, they both had really bad tire degradation going on, and I think my tires were probably holding up the best with the setup that I put under myself and Jess. So just a good points day.
Phil, you got anything for Cody?
Not too much. Welcome back, boss man. Nice to see you on the podium. Well done.
Yeah, it feels like an old home that I haven't been to in a very long time, and now I get to be here.
You're meant to be in here with us in the retirement home.
I was going to say that, yeah. You previously
There's room for a third.
I don't know. He's the best out of all three of us at this point.
Yeah, we don't talk about the one lap of practice I did pre-race.
As Cody, you got any partners or anyone you'd like to thank for yet another podium in NASA Rallycross? While you're saying that, I'm going to see how many podiums you have right now because I want to add that number. So go ahead. I'll get that number for you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Team Watson Racing Setups. Like I said, they're the main key driving force for our team. ASN, you guys as well. As I was able to kind of come play with Josh in the booth when we were doing the EMSA stuff. Unfortunately, that's kind of stopped. Area 52 Design, Simbox, and then also new thing that we just fired up this last week. Make sure you go tune in on Spotify, Google, iTunes, everything. We have this podcast now that's everything motorsports and real motorsports and e-motorsports going on. It's wow, I'm blanking. Oh, it's the Mischief podcast. So make sure you tune into that. I think we're gonna have an episode every Thursday. So make sure you tune into that. It's Chance, Greg. It's pretty much all my lead admins. They wanted to kind of do it and have fun with it, so I'm letting them have their own baby and their own thing going on. So and the first episode was last week, and it was really entertaining. And I'd imagine it's just going to even get better and better as they kind of grow and progress as they get used to doing the podcasting game. So new adventure for us over here at Sequential Sim Sport. And if anyone is interested in coming to drive for us, we have openings. So if you want to come play, you're more than welcome. Just DM our socials or myself.
As former champion Cody Erdman, his last victory was 2019 B, Daytona Beach. This will be his 49th podium in his 116th entry. So great run, my friend, and we will see you next week in Charlotte.
Thank you, guys.
Wow, that was more fun than I expected, Phil. What's your final thought?
We need to do these more often, Josh. That's my final thought on it.
Well, a couple programming notes, or a programming note for the Automotive Sports Network, some sponsor reads, and then we'll call it an evening for the Ken Block Memorial Grand Prix. It has been a long day. Our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support. Our coverage all season brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. And our cameras for this entire season are provided by Track Cams 22. Next week, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will be at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, for the 5th round of the championship. But from all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, Bryan, Sawyer, Philip Kraus, my name is Josh Mertz. We hope you enjoyed the Ken Block Memorial Gymkhana Grand Prix from Lime Rock. We will see you next week in Charlotte. But until then, so long, everyone.